And here's the executive director of the 2024 President's Cup. It's Ryan Hart. And Ryan, good to see you again as always. And a big moment, I guess we've got ticket sales. We've had lots of sales before, but this is sort of the general ticket sales now. Everything's available, and the announcement came out on Tuesday. Tell us a little bit about what this means for you and what this means for the people who want to come and see this great event.
Well, first and foremost, thanks for having us, Bob. And we are exceptionally excited. We're less than 170 days from the 2024 President's Cup. And I think this moment of getting our GA tickets on sale is really that next big step for us. And the support since we've been in Canada has really been tremendous. And, we have every belief that we'll see the same support through GA ticket sales in the coming week.
Okay, so give us an idea of where people can buy these and what does this mean? Are they difference between Monday, or can you go on Monday? I don't know. Give us a sort of the breakdown of what happens with these GA tickets now.
No, absolutely. You can go, everything can be done at presidentscup.com. We've got the tickets on the homepage, trying to make it as easy for people as possible. You can get everything from Monday is closed to the general public, but Tuesday through Sunday, tickets starting at $50 all the way up to 200 for some of the competition days. So we try to have sort of a cross section of pricing, depending on what people's price point is. And then there are also offers for if your GA tickets, and then you've got sort of that step up to a captain's club, which is that sort of sports bar environment on property, and then that first step into an all-inclusive product in our international club. So there's really a variety there for people. And like I said, we've got 2 days of practice rounds, and then the competition starts Thursday through Sunday.
Yeah, people got to remember that this is unlike the Ryder Cup. This has 4 days of competition, not just the 3 days. So it's a great opportunity to go and see. And I mean, it's shaping up. The two teams are starting to look like they're moving into place. I mean, obviously, it's some changes can happen, but I guess that also sort of whets the appetite of a lot of people, right? They can see, well, I think Nick Taylor's going to make it, or this guy's going to make it. I guess that also helps, doesn't it?
Yeah, there's been a lot of buzz. I mean, obviously Nick's success in the last 12 months and, most recently, obviously in Phoenix has really had a lot of buzz for him. And people, I think everywhere we go, people, the first question we get asked is how many Canadians are going to be on the team? And, I quickly respond with, that's not my decision, thankfully. But obviously Captain Mike Weir's got some challenge in front of him. He's got a bunch of amazing players, but obviously a country behind him that would love to see as many Canadians as possible. But the guys are playing well right now, so I think there will be a good contingent. We're just not sure on that final number.
Yeah, I gave Mike the opportunity to comment on an over under at 2.5. And before he could say anything, Jim Furyk said, yeah, it's going to be over. There's going to be at least three Canadians on that team, but we'll see when the decisions get made. And I'm sure those ones where you have to tell people that they're not going to be on the team those calls must be pretty painful to make, but that's why you're in the captain's chair. Let's move on a little bit. What are we going to see on site? If you walk out there and as a spectator, obviously you're going to see golf, you're going to see grandstands, but what are you going to see there?
I think the couple of big things that'll be different from those who were there in 2007. I mean, as you well know, Bob, this event's grown to be our largest global event since 2007 when it was last in Canada. And I think one of the biggest differences is back then we really built everything, a lot of it anyway, on the member driving range, and then there was a few ancillary hospitality structures on I think three, maybe four holes. And now when people walk on the golf course this year, they're going to see 13 of 18 holes built out. They'll see a little north of 600,000 square feet of floor space built across the property. And really with the goal of trying to bring the fans as close to the action as possible. And this would be the first time, and I think to Mike's delight, that this will be designed as a international team home game being played in Canada. So instead of all of our traditional white meshing that you'll see on all the structures, it'll all be black and gold to line up with the home game for the international team. And then I think lastly, I mean, as you well know, being from Montreal, I mean, there's so much culture to take in this market. And so what we've really done is we've carved the golf course into really four quadrants where you'll see four distinct fan areas where we're really trying to celebrate the food, the flair, the culture of Montreal and Canada at this year's event. So we're excited. We're still talking to a lot of people, getting more ideas, working with some local chefs and some local restaurateurs, and really excited to be able to present this in the fall.
Well, one thing that Mike Weir mentioned to me too was he said back in 2007 there was a good turnout of people, but they were mostly sort of just golf fans, and he wants them to be international team fans and sort of
Yeah.
cheer as we've seen that. That's a big part of this, and I think it's has grown, especially when you go and play the in the international markets. But it is a big part of this, isn't it? You're going to cheer for your side.
Yeah, I think there's that. And I think the other thing that Mike's really said since he was named captain is we want to bring the hockey rink to the golf course. When you think about being here in Montreal, or, where you are in Toronto or anywhere in Canada, when you go to your hockey rink, your NHL team rink, it is loud. It is, the pride is exploding through the glass to the players. And that's what, Mike's vision is for the first tee and throughout the golf course. So, we've been really fortunate to have a great relationship with the Montreal Canadiens, and working with their team, their in-game production, and learning what they do to get people fired up. So when you get to the first tee, we've got a team that is specifically working on the first tee to get people hyped up an hour and a half leading into the matches. It'll be loud. There'll be, music playing, a good, vibrant environment. And then once the balls are hit, it's game time. And I think, we go back to, I think, what was it, the 2010 Olympics in Vancouver. And it stands out in my head when at the time Prime Minister Harper had to stand up in the House of Commons and give Canada permission to cheer. And we're known as such a polite country, but I think when it comes to hockey, we kind of throw that out the door a little bit, and we hope that we can get a round two of that at the President's Cup this fall.
That sounds good. Just before we go, what's the next job or next check mark on your list that's going to come around? As you said, 170 days. It doesn't seem like very much.
I would say this getting rid of the snow would probably be the next check mark on our list. The biggest priority we have in front of us. We started building October 3rd last year to get ahead of the snow. We took a pause mid-December, and the hope is to get back building on the golf course here in the next 3 weeks. So that is really the next big checkbox for us, is to get back on property and building. And then I'd say, there's a handful of hospitality products out there that are still available. So trying to button those up and make sure that we're working on the best experience we can for those that can make it out.
All right. Well, you're going to be a busy man, I know, for the next little while. So we'll check in with you when we can. And thank you for some time today.
Thanks, Bob. Thanks for the support.